Perhaps it has been a while since we have last seen each other. A lot has changed, many things have developed, so getting everyone up to speed will be the objective of today. Beyond that, we are sharing a very special moment with myself and Corbeau. We look forward to sharing many incredible moments, in addition to many great things with Ride+Remedy. We hope you enjoy the video, and we would love to hear your feelings and your thoughts in the comments below. Salut, bonjour, comment vas-tu? J'espère que tu vas bien. Bienvenue sur la chaîne and bienvenue Ride+Remedy, and also welcome back. In today's video, this is a welcome back, a little bit of an update, as well as my first riding on Corbeau day. So there's a lot of things. Now, I do need to communicate that this is a little bit of jump back in time. What did you call these? Time traveling. So the videos you'll see of us riding D1 happened about a month or two ago, and so here we are. But before we get into all of those things, I must first ask you to please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a sweet, kind comment below, hit your notification and postification buttons, and please share the video. I also want to remind you to go check out Ride+Remedy podcast. D'accord? Merci. Alrighty, welcome back. So, I'm incredibly excited about today's video for so many different reasons. And as I mentioned, we are doing a little bit of time hopping, time traveling. I've tried to make a welcome back video, I think, since October, and so much has either changed, or I've just tried to be a little bit more intentional about what I'm saying, very clear, so that we can just get right onto the riding, of course. But before we get into the updates and riding, I have to say thank you so much, WILLOWTACK, for this amazing top. I love the details, as well as the Corbeau gloves. I love a nice soft leather green that provides some mobility. If they're too firm, I just can't get into it. So thank you so very much. WILLOWTACK is in fact a local tack shop here in the Mobile Gulf Coast area that you can find in Theodore, or the link will be over in the description box. Now let's get into the updates of it all. So saddle up, buttercup. Okay, so let us begin with consistency. Now, if you started here with us with Ride+Remedy, you know that we were very consistent in 2024. Vlogs, podcasts, reels, you name it, all of these things were happening quite easily. However, in November 2024, the world began to unravel in a variety of different ways, and as we like to say, les effets sont très prenants. It was just incredibly demanding. Time, efforts, mentally, emotionally, the list goes on. And literally from November 2024 through essentially the whole 2025, there was something going on that literally just pulled us away from this space and a variety of spaces, to be honest, not just here. And so that journey was a bit much. Everywhere from, even in November, the preparation of getting Corbeau here in January. Getting him here in January, and the biggest snowstorm in Mobile history happens. March, April, I was dancing, doing some rehearsing, and hurt my knee, did not cater to that injury, just was gonna ride through the pain, bad idea, and ended up injuring myself even worse, so had to come out of the saddle. The summer gets here, it is beyond hot, and by summer I mean like April, because now it's 80 degrees. April, May is like 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and this is The worst. I absolutely know that myself nor Corbeau is built for this climate. I know this. I'm not even going to challenge it. I am actively working on our exit plan now for this year, just because these summers are always brutal. There are some riders that just do not ride. However, him being 2.5 years old, I could not afford to have him not work. So we're out here 6:30, 7 a.m., no later than 8 a.m. because by 8 a.m. it's already 80 degrees. And the humidity is at 900. So literally by 9 o'clock, you're cremating. It is the craziest thing. And so literally experiencing that, but also understanding that as a 2.5 year old horse, you're not going to be doing a whole lot. It is incredibly repetitive. So even in the ideas of some of the filming and things, it was like, I see big improvements, but to the viewer, you would not necessarily see these things because the progression is slow. And that is not just with a 2.5 year old horse, that is being an equestrian and being a horse lover in general. The process, the journey is slow. And that's one of the beauties of it. And especially when you do have a baby, like you're literally starting from the ground up. So it was incredibly important to me that in the process of having Corbeau, that I did not take away from investing in his training. So I was very intentional with where I put my training, my training and in those things, my money essentially. And so everything went to that. More personal things in the fall, then other personal things in the early winter. But anyways, we're here now. But in the scope of 2025, we actually recorded a variety of podcasts that I just did not get to. We have Hilda Donahue talking about 3-day eventing, how to get there, how to be get to that space of if you decide to be a professional, what that looks like, right? In addition to Taylor Jones, who is Corbeau's farrier, learning about hoof care and the importance there. Dr. Bastiana, who came through and did a saddle feeding for him, and recently, and not just saddle feeding for him because we weren't riding. Let me clear that up. Clear that up, okay? We weren't riding him in 2024. I mean, in 2025 as a 3-year-old at all. But we wanted to talk about saddle feeding in general was the whole thing, right? And but now we are working under saddle. And we had Dr. Bastiana coming out and actually do a new saddle feeding and all of the things. So we have another great podcast with Keen Moore, who talks about representation within the equestrian community. And then we have other podcasts that are being formulated right now and that we're preparing to record. So we've had a lot of that happen also in 2025. We also began to unpack and develop more product with Ride+Remedy that we'll be sharing with you with like behind the scenes things. So there's a lot that has happened and progressed in 2025, but I will definitely stay here towards the end, November 2025, December 2025. Honestly, October 2025, October was a little bit rough, to be honest. It was definitely rough, but really brought clarity that I have to be here fully. And by be here fully, I mean really be here for myself fully, and everything else will fall into place and be okay. But I have to invest in my happiness, and this is a part of it. So I'm super excited to share so much with you guys. And then today is my first riding day with the Corbeau. So let's talk about that. Okay, so now let's talk about saddling Corbeau up. So first and foremost, in this first video, we are in a bareback saddle. Because he is young still, his bones are not completely developed. No horse's bones are developed at 3.5, 4 years old. Their backbones, their spine is developed by 6, and with some breeds like Corbeau, it can even be 7 or maybe even 8. But that depends on breed. So what we wanted to do was get him used to understanding what was coming and those things. And that's truly all it is. I had some individuals that were very unhappy about it, but we're not working him. Sitting on him isn't killing him. And I am such a helicopter mom. I have nightmares about things on a regular basis when it comes to him. Like, oh my gosh, I did this wrong, that wrong. I'm asking my vet, I'm talking to my trainers, and I'm not just with some young 19-year-old trainer or 20-year-old trainer. I'm working with very mature trainers, very incredible, amazing vets that are saying, hey, look, he's ready, you're ready, just get him comfortable with sitting on him. That's all. And that's what we did starting in like November 2025, which is what you're going to be seeing here. If I'm not mistaken, November 2025. We just had him saddle fitted about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now we have the right gullet and all of those things. So all of the tack is coming along, and here we are. But this is just our first day. This is just showing you our experience, and I hope that you all enjoy it. I'll be talking through it. Just thank you so much for being here. I do just want to remind you, check out WILLOWTACK. Link is over in the description box, as well as please go subscribe to Ride+Remedy podcast. We have some great things coming up and you don't want to miss out. Let's get Corbeau ready for his lesson today, but you all enjoy the video. D'accord? Merci beaucoup pour visiter la vidéo. So of course, we begin each morning the exact same way. A good solid routine creates an effortless morning. No resistance, no issues, no troubles. A pretty solid plan. As we jump back in time, there was a moment in our past that required Corbeau to be on a particular medication that required us to moisten the food. This was quite an interesting experience and one of those key and major players of personal things that was happening behind the scenes. But here I think we're right at the end of that, which allowed us to get the approval to actually get on Corbeau, and it was actually encouraged that we did. As I mentioned, we begin this process with a bareback saddle, no bridle, just a bareback saddle. And this is something that we have already gotten Corbeau accustomed to, so this isn't that new. We already began this journey of putting a saddle pad on or a bareback saddle, even just not riding, so that he gets used to the feeling and the sensation. And even though this is the day that we're going to start to get on him, we want to be consistent with that routine, because where you have that routine, it creates a confidence in them and no stress, and therefore they're more relaxed, and you should also be more relaxed too. This is a great moment to make sure they are exposed to any new things, because a variety of emotions at this moment are happening. for both of us, more for me than for him, but nonetheless, here we are, and this is the moment. Due to Corbeau and I having an incredible trainer, he is standing still, very solid, very relaxed, and it just makes the experience immediately a pleasure. On this day, we just did a little bit of leading, and that was about it. Again, no tugging, no pulling, no asking for this or that, but just getting used to the feeling, him feeling what it feels like with the person on top of him. And that's truly all that it was. We didn't want to do anything too extensive. This was just day one. There's no need for that. This process is slow, is easy, but it is absolutely a necessity and quite an important part. Ending on a good note is the most important thing to me. So here's where we ended. Thank you so much for sharing this brief moment with us. Be sure to check us out at ridexremedy.com. And remember, Ride and Remedy, where riding is the remedy.